Hi there, hello, it's Yvonne here, and I am now live, I think. So if you can see me and hear me, then do leave me a comment in the comments box so that I can come and say hello to you. Just gone 6 o'clock here in the UK. Just a little bit of technical difficulties, you know how it is with tech. So anyway, we're here yet. We're here now. So say hello and let's get started in a few minutes. Let me know where you're from and where you're joining from and who you are. That would be so good. Thank you so much. All right, so I'll leave it just for a couple of minutes to see who's here live, and if that's okay if you're not here live, don't worry about that. So the title of this live stream is How to Get a Head Start on 2023. So only just a few weeks now until the end of 2022. So this conversation is all about getting a head start on 2023. So first, if you're joining me live on Facebook, welcome. Please say hi in the comments so I can come and say hello back. If you're watching the replay on Facebook, then put hashtag replay in the comments so that I can come and say hello to you later. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please do leave me a comment below, and remember to subscribe to my channel so that you'll be the first to get notified when I post the next video. And finally, if you're watching this on my blog, then that's cool too. Welcome one and all, wherever you are and whenever you're watching this. So with that said, let's get started. So the focus of this live stream is really about getting a head start on 2023, because recently we ran a survey, and thank you to you if you participated in our survey. We really do appreciate you letting us know what challenges you're facing and what you need to solve them, and that's what this conversation is about today. The one big challenge that kind of stood out in the survey was, how do I get more bookings? And this isn't a new challenge by any stretch, right? But it does seem to persist. So I'm going to give you some easy ways to attract more bookings while getting a head start on 2023, so you don't still have this issue when I ask you again in December 2023, in 12 months time, right? Of course, you may have other issues then, and who doesn't, right? But you won't have this one if you pay attention and take action. So if you have a pen and paper handy or something to take notes with, that's cool. That will be a really good start. So let me just come and see if anyone has said hello. Hello. Let me put my specs on so I can see. Hello, Estelle. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Sophie. Lovely to see you, so many people. Thank you so much for joining me live. Oh, hello, Reiki. Hey. All right. So if you have a pen and paper handy, that's great. That's good to take notes, right? Because it's all very well listening to stuff and thinking that we're learning, but when you've got notes, you can review them afterwards and then you learn all over again. That's what I find anyway. So in my experience of running my own B&B for many, many years, and then now working with clients, with owners around the world since 2017, there are some telltale signs that run through the challenge of not having enough bookings. So let's look at those first, and then we'll talk about solutions and how you can get a head start on 2023. And by the way, while I'm going through these potential issues, be honest with yourself and identify which ones resonate with you. And you can share if you want to, but you don't have to, right? It's really for your benefit, not mine, right? So, first of all, most owners, in my experience, and including myself in the beginning of my B&B journey, don't have enough bookings because of one or two things, well, several things actually. A, they haven't figured out their real value for a specific group of people, usually because they're somehow afraid to what we call niche, to find a niche, right? They're afraid of kind of alienating people, and you know, if I have to turn people away, then I'll lose bookings, and all of this thought process goes through their head. This is what I've found in my experience, and it went through my head too, I promise you. B, no, number two. Let's do one. Let's do numbers because they're easier, right? Two, they aren't communicating that value online, on their websites and on social media. In other words, they don't really know what they stand for, and neither does anyone else, right? Neither does anyone else. They don't, number three, they don't dedicate time, set time aside to do consistent marketing, probably because they're feeling pretty overwhelmed by it. Because let's face it, there's marketing advice everywhere. I think we're on four. They're not visible enough online, especially on social media. I see a lot of people on social media, a lot of owners on social media who don't show their faces. So we don't know who you are, we don't know what you stand for, and we don't know what value you stand in, right? We don't know. You're keeping it all a secret. Number five, they don't make great offers to past guests because they're afraid of emailing or what they consider to be bugging people. I think this is a big one, right? I think this is a really big challenge for owners. They don't understand the purpose of email marketing and the communications that are necessary, that kind of, it's like a precursor to as many bookings as you want. You have to do the marketing. It's not all about selling your rooms, it's about building that trust and goodwill first, and that's what marketing can do, and that's how you have to approach it if it's going to work. Next, they rely on online travel agents a lot. They sometimes don't have any website or a homemade one, and consequently are at the mercy of that marketing machine, which promotes the practice of discounting mainly, which obviously devalues owners in the eyes of their guests, because it's all about the transaction, it's not about the relationship and the value in that. I think we're up to 6 or 7. They spend way too much time on low value tasks such as cleaning, laundry, which could be done by someone else, with freeing them up to focus on learning new skills that will ultimately bring them bookings in. And they typically don't invest in learning new skills that will make them happier and bring more bookings in, right? So be honest with yourself. Which one of those resonated with you? You don't have to share if you don't want to, but just circle it, right? Let me know if you want me to go through them again. Let me check the comments. Yes. Estelle, yes. Hello, Inga. Okay. So be honest, you know, this is for your benefit, not mine. Okay. So I'm just going to run through them again so that you've got these. This is what I see in my experience. They haven't figured out their real value because they're afraid to niche. They aren't communicating that value. In other words, they don't know what they stand for, and neither does anyone else. They don't dedicate time to do consistent marketing because they're pretty much overwhelmed by it. They're not visible enough online. They don't have a good online presence, especially on social media. They don't make offers to past guests because they're afraid of emailing or what they consider to be bugging people. They rely a lot on online travel agents, sometimes don't even have a proper website of their own. And so they're at the mercy of that online marketing machine, which doesn't really care about anything except bookings, no matter who with. They spend way too much time on low value tasks such as cleaning and laundry, way too much time. And they typically don't invest in learning new skills to bring them more bookings and more happiness. Okay, so if you can resonate with any of that, then circle that and make a note to do something about it. Okay, just checking here. Perfect. Okay, good. Right, so here's the thing, right? have you established just how many more bookings that you want in 2023? If indeed you want more bookings, and the majority of our survey respondents said they want more bookings. So have you established how many? Can you quantify it with a value, you know, pounds, dollars, euros, whatever? Can you quantify the value of the extra bookings that you want so that it's a number? And what will you do with that extra money? How will that make a difference in your life? Because what I've learned is that when we set goals, we create a kind of tension. I wonder if I've got one of these things here. We create a kind of tension. I'm looking for an elastic band. I haven't got one. We create a kind of tension. If you can imagine an elastic band stretching between my fingers, it's like pulling on an elastic band, and it will either ping one way or the other. And it doesn't care which way it pings because it doesn't have a brain, right? Elastic band, as long as it returns to neutral and releases the tension, right? Because if it doesn't, it will eventually break. So you pull one way and you pull the other, and it creates tension in the elastic band. So imagine this, right? On one side, you want more bookings. On this side, I want more bookings, I want more bookings, I want more money, and I want more bookings. And on the other side, the kind of counterbalance to that is you don't really, because of what you might think that you'll have to sacrifice or give up for those extra bookings, such as you might have the belief that you'll have to work harder or longer hours and give up your free time. So the tension is resolved on the side of staying where you are, over here, right? Instead of the tension being resolved towards the extra bookings. Does that make sense? Elastic band, tension when you pull it, either staying where you are, which has a great pull, or moving yourself, shifting some beliefs and habits, and making the rest of you come with you. The tension will be resolved either way, and if we let it ping back to the side where we always go, we won't get any more bookings. Nothing will change. But if we persist and use our will to move the tension in the direction of more bookings and more happiness and more money, then tension will relieve itself on that side. Let me know if that makes sense to you. It's just a little metaphor. I should have got an elastic band and I can't find one. Okay, let me know if that makes sense. Because when we go for goals, it creates tension in our bodies. Okay, let me see. Yep, okay, you're getting this, yeah? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for commenting. Okay, so our belief in the extra work results in us giving up on what we say we want, and it keeps us stuck on the side of where we've always been. On the other hand, as I just said, if we use our will to commit to doing whatever it takes to reach our goals while figuring it all out as we go, then the tension will resolve itself on the side of growth and more bookings. Okay? So we can choose, right, which way we resolve the tension. And that's the beauty of humans, right? We have the freedom to choose. We do have that choice. So if you're not resolving the tension on the side of growth and therefore more bookings, then you're choosing to stay where you are on some level, right? Perhaps unconsciously, and I'm sure you wouldn't willingly do that if you do indeed need more bookings. But that's what it amounts to, right? That's the outcome. So let's now look at some solutions for getting those extra bookings and getting a head start on 2023. And please do share your answers to these questions if you feel that you can, because I think it helps to actually, materialize answers to questions. It helps you, right? So what works for me and my clients is this: focus on changing habits, not focusing on goals. Because in my experience, it's our habits that create our life experience, and if we focus on just changing a few habits, the outcomes and therefore the goals will take care of themselves. So here's some questions to think about now. if you want some more bookings in 2023, or you want to change something, maybe you're not getting great guests, or maybe you're feeling tired, or maybe you just don't have enough money, or maybe it's all becoming a bit tiresome, or whatever is going on for you, what new skill do you feel you need to learn right now to bring in that change, to bring in more bookings, or more time off, or more money, or more happiness, or feeling less tired? What new skill do you feel you need to learn right now to do that? For example, let me give you an example. How do you manage your time? Do you manage it well, do you think? Or do you mostly react to what's going on around you in the moment and find that the time runs away with you? Be honest with yourself. Next, what new and different actions do you feel that you need to take to reach your goals or your better outcomes in 2023? What new actions? So, staying with the time management example, do you feel you need to put stronger boundaries in place around your time so that you can have focused time to do the important things that actually move the needle in your business? Just as an example. What can you commit to getting really good at in 2023 that you're not good at now, that will make you proud of yourself this time next year? What could you commit to getting really good at? And in our time management example again, could you get really good at taking care of yourself, like resting and relaxing on a regular basis and taking, breaks away next year? Maybe you didn't get away this year, or you didn't get away as much as you wanted to this year, and you let the work and other people's needs come before yours. And here's the thorny one, right? What about getting extra help with the cleaning and the laundry, despite all the reasons that you haven't done that up until now? Let's look at another habit that can hold us back, right? Here's a big one that I find with a lot of owners, right? Not keeping in touch with past guests for fear of bugging them. So what are the consequences of that, I wonder? They could just forget about you. They might choose somewhere else next time they come to your area, even though they wrote you a great review and said they'd be back and they had a great time. They've forgotten about you because you didn't keep in touch. So who's deciding that you'll be bugging them? Is there like a bugging them barometer, a bugging them barometer that somehow you can't go past? Who knows what that is? What if your helpful and regular communications were welcomed by your past guests? What if they secretly were a bit lonely and they looked forward to hearing from you, bringing back happy memories of their stay with you? What if that was true? What if you believed these things instead of the belief that you're bugging people? Do you think you'd be more inclined to start a new habit of sending regular communications to past guests? I think so. So if we want to get a head start in 2023, you'll need to change some habits. The ones that have got you to where you are right now, because they're just not going to get you to where you want to go for sure. Hate to break that to you. So let me check the comments. Okay, good. Great, Estelle. That's great. Advertising skills? Yes. Great. If you just identify what you feel you need and then go about finding it, finding where you can learn it, finding where you can get better at something, you can get really good at something, for example, we have free will and we can choose to do these things on our own without asking permission from everyone else. I think some of us are just sitting waiting for permission, and you don't need it, right? You can do it. You can do this yourself. So, okay, so if you want to get a head start in 2023, I'll say this again, right? You'll need to change some habits. And those are the habits that you currently have that you're maybe not aware of. You have to bring them into your awareness. And these are the habits that have got you to exactly where you are today. Exactly, precisely. They're so good habits. They're so amazing. They've got you to precisely where you are today. And they're not going to get you to the next level, to the next stage, to where you want to go in 2023. We have to think about and we have to identify the habits that are keeping us where we are, with a bit of self-awareness and a bit of self-honesty as well. No blaming or shaming, no beating ourselves up, just being really totally honest about how we got to this place and what we're going to need to do to be disciplined enough and committed enough to take us where we want to go to get a head start on 2023. All right, so that's it for today. I think that's okay, good, Estelle. I'm glad to hear that. We don't need permission, right? So that's all I have for you today. I hope that was helpful. Just a short video today. And I hope that you can take some of this away with you and you can put it into action. And of course, if you need any help with this, then let me know. Send me a private message or let me know, or book a free call with me and we can have a chat about how I might be able to help you and what you can do going forwards to make 2023 your best year ever. Fantastic. All right, everybody, thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.